Okay, people, sorry about that. We had some Google Hangout issues. So let's just share the link with everyone. I don't know why the other link didn't work. We are live, getting Kedra on the line. After all that testing, Google. Now I know how some bigger companies, I'm not going to name names, felt when they tried to Google Hangout on air and it didn't work. Let's try this one. So let's see if Kedra can join us. Now we're just changing links across the different interwebs. So just bear with me as I update where we are so people can watch. Grab a drink, grab some wine, grab some tea, grab whatever else, you like to eat. Drink, Doritos, chips, whatever. Isn't this fun? Isn't technology oh so fun? Kedra didn't get the invite yet, so let me try a different way. I sent to your email. Let's try a different way in this case, DC. Let's invite Kedra another way. Oh wait, I think she's coming. Kedra, I think I heard you coming into the Hangout. I heard a ding. Maybe that wasn't you. Maybe that's just other people watching. Kedra is going to join us shortly. I had a little snippet with Hangouts. I don't know why the first one didn't take. So now I'm just updating links across the interwebs so people that want to watch can watch accordingly. Isn't this fun? Sunday night, drinking some white wine, taking an hour and a half to get this sucker set up accordingly. But things don't always work out the way they're supposed to work out. Updating the blog with the link. Here's the Moto 360. Little preview of the awesome sauce we'll be talking about in the course of tonight. Let's see if Kedra's here. Kedra, can you see me? While Kedra joins us, you might be wondering, what are you doing and why are you back and why is Ladies Talk Tech back? Well, it's been a hiatus. There's been a lot of change in the family with moving to Minneapolis, starting one gig, then realizing it just really wasn't what it was supposed to be, and then now settling into Minneapolis for a while and trying something different and loving being the head of digital media for Metaverse Mod Squad. But that's, something we're talking about another time. We're talking about wearables and Android and Motorola devices today. And Kedra's here. I think Kedra's here. I see her. Kedra, I see you. I see you coming on. I see you about to join. You're there. This is what you call doing a podcast or doing a video cast when Sunday nights and snafus happen. So what else can I tell you until Kedra joins us? Moved to Minneapolis. My mother-in-law passed away last winter. We moved here, changed jobs, and we'll probably be moving back to Chicagoland, I would say, next spring, summer. I'm not sure. We have some time to play with because our daughter doesn't start school until kindergarten. Speaking of my daughter, that's some of her handiwork behind me. I'm sitting at my dining room table in downtown Minneapolis, waiting on Miss KDC. And you know what? Let me just get into the step-by-step of the Motorola devices while you're here. I know it's 15 minutes past. So why am I so excited? You've probably seen via social, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, even Instagram, I have been purely obsessed with the latest Motorola devices. Now, there is a caveat. I did work for Motorola at some point in time. Loved it. Great people I know still work there. Fantastic company. They moved to 1871. That space in the Merchandise Mart. I'm sorry. They didn't move to 1871. 1871 is in the same building as Motorola, which is the Merchandise Mart located in Chicago, which, by the way, is such a massive, massive building. I believe they have their own zip code. So while Kedra comes to join us, let's just go through the reviews. So first, the Moto X. This is the Moto X, okay? I'm going to do this handy-dandy Sensor. Oh, isn't that cool? Wax on, wax off. What? Oh, let's do it again. So, oh, it didn't work. Wait, hold on. Okay, wait, let's do it again. And again. Again, slower. Okay, so what makes this so great? The Moto X, this is the second generation Moto X, has these built-in sensors whereby it lets you walk up to your device and see what notifications you have, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, somebody had liked your post, somebody was commenting on your oh-so-political comment, whatever it is. And it's really great because A, it saves battery life, and B, the utility, and Kira just pinged me. She can see herself, but she can't see me. I don't know why she can't see me. Hold on. Kira, why can't you see me? That's really weird, girlfriend. I can see you. You're in the Hangout. But that's... Let's try flipping the cameraman over. Did that work, Kedra? No. Okay, I'm going to keep on going because hopefully she can join, else we'll just do another Hangout. Okay, so there's sensors built in the device. So when you walk up to it, you can see what's happening with notifications and what have you. And what's amazing, oh, there you are, Kedra. Talk.
Hi. Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, okay. Okay. That's called, in Hollywood, it's called stretching time, right? So we are going to reverse, and I talked to you all about, why we're here. It's back, and Kedra Cheney is my guest today, longtime friend. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so stoked. So yeah, first, let's just do a recap. Like, what's been up with you? What have you been doing? Luggage.
So, yo, gosh. That's like, I just got back from New Orleans. Speaking on behalf of my blog, The Learned Fangirl, at a pop culture conference in New Orleans. But I didn't have luggage for all 4 days I was there for the conference because my luggage decided it wanted to go to Houston instead. Oh, no. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just updating the URL to make sure people know that we're here.
Okay. So they tagged the luggage incorrectly. It went to Houston instead of New Orleans. It sat there for a couple of days, and then it sat in untagged for I think like 24, 48 hours, and then it got sent back to me. So yeah, I didn't have any clothes. But also it was my debit card got shut off because I got hacked because I was with Chase. I was one of the 76 million people. Yeah, so all of that happened. Like literally, I landed in NOLA, and I got the call from Chase, and then I found out that my luggage was missing, and then other stuff with the hotel. It was just a hot mess. But the conference was great.
But wait, back up a second about logistics. So when you went to NOLA, was it a direct flight or not a direct flight?
It was direct flight.
Mm-hmm. And what airline were you on?
I was on Southwest. They straight up just put a different tag on my, so I think maybe the women, like, because other people were checking in and maybe they put the tag on for somebody else accidentally, but so it was in Houston, or so they said.
Wow, well, that sucks. Sorry.
Yeah, it really sucked because I had to go buy a bunch of new clothes. Because it was a conference, I couldn't wear what I was wearing, not when I was presenting. And I had to, get stuff for my eyes and toiletries and all that. But it looks like I'm going to get reimbursed for that. So there's that at least. I got some new stuff from Banana Republic, so I guess that's good.
Hey, you know what? Any chance for, going shopping? In this case, it was true utility. You just can't pass that behind you.
Yep.
So, now you're doing some, obviously, Kedra mentioned she's, is behind the Learned Fangirl. She's a big writer. She's also an editor. She's a big tech nerd. And you all have seen the show before. You've seen me and Kedra talking online to each other. You know that. But if you don't know, this is another reason why Kedra and I kind of click on the gadgetry geekery side of life.
Yeah. So it's been cool. Woohoo! Yay! So pretty. haven't gotten my. I reviewed the 360 and the X for Paste Magazine, but I did not get to keep them, sadly. So I have to get my own X soon. So.
I just, gosh, and so, but when I was filling time, I was showing folks the sensor. So I had an original Moto X, the first gen of it, and
Yeah.
so it had the sensor where it would light up something when you had notifications, but this one is more so like I have it my way, so I could just walk up to it and do one
Yeah.
of these.
Yeah.
I just think that's so cool. And then there's other features I'll show you when I talk to it and I use the Moto Voice functionality. I've named my smartphone Harrington. It's been this joke in my family since I was a kid that I would have a butler named Harrington. And I just started
Nice.
when we were watching Mr. Belvedere. Remember Mr.
Yeah,
Belvedere?
I
Okay.
do.
So I just said I wanted to have a guy named Harrington be my butler. My parents were like, whatever. And so it's this running joke in the family. Um, I decided not to go. So for those that want a Moto X, you can customize your own phone. But you could also do leather. You could do wood. It's gorgeous. And I was tempted to do the leather or the bamboo because they look beautiful.
Yeah.
I was watching Leo. Yes, Leo, I do watch you, even though I'm not a journalist. I do watch your show, Leo. And Leo had said when he received his, it smelled like the nice, like the back room of a nice gentleman's club, like very leathery with bourbon and stuff. So because I bought this and the 360, I'm like, I'll just forego the 25 bones and whatever, save it. So I made mine.
One thing I was interested in with the leather is that like for the time that I had it, and I had it for like a couple of weeks, and in about 2 different cities as I was testing it out, but it didn't seem like it was fairly like durable, and it didn't scratch easily. And that's the big concern with leather anything is that it's going to be all scratched up. And mine was black, and it stayed with me, and it didn't seem like there was going to be like it would do a lot to scratch it and make it look unattractive. I wouldn't have to run after it with lotion and cover up like with a Coach bag or something.
Well, now I'm kind of regretting not getting the leather because it was so gorgeous. It was so pretty. And I'm like, oh man. And if you people that know me, I love citrus colors. I like the reds and the oranges. I'm a bright girl. So I had to get my customary red backing to it. One thing that was different too is the divot. So if y'all don't know about Motorola phones, the old Moto X had this divot in the back, right? So what's cool about this divot, it's for your finger. It enables you to, if you want to be one-handed with the device, you stick your finger back here, wah, 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 and just shift it around. This divot is a little bigger than the other divot, but it's so handy when I just want to have it in my hand and stick it, so it's resting. Now, of course, this device is bigger, not tiny, and like smaller hand, so I have to still balance, but I love it. I just love it. The camera, now, for you iPhone people, and Kedra, like, do you have an iPhone?
No, I'm Android all the way.
Okay, because I do think that iPhone 6 camera is amazeballs. It is.
I have to say, I was not super impressed with the camera. The pictures I took, and they were at a wedding, were kind of grainy.
But they're better. They were better than the old Moto X.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you want a phone that's got like the best camera ever, okay, fine. Get the iPhone 6 or 6 Plus. 6 Plus is. Actually, could I do a quick shout out to Apple because I didn't tell you what happened. So you may have seen my posts and whatnot the last few weeks, but for the last 2 weeks, I have been without a laptop. I'm using a MacBook Air, and I went to the Apple store because it was still under warranty, and you need a new battery. Fine, cool. Drop off the device, the laptop, and I went to the Apple store to pick it up with a new battery, and the genius person came out. She sits next to me, and she goes, I've got some bad news. Like, what? We found liquid in your laptop. Like, what? What? And she goes, it's like some brown liquid, maybe pop or coffee. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't remember doing anything to it. What? So basically, the whole thing had to be me $800. And I just turned white because I have a whole year of Apple Care based on this laptop. And she goes, you can buy a new one. And, which makes sense because $800 to fix it or buy a new MacBook Pro, what are you going to do? But because I had a year left on this thing, I said, okay, let me see what I can do. So I honestly, Kedra, and when I go to the Apple store, I don't lie. When I
Yeah.
two places I never tell a fib: the Apple Store or the airport. Because
Yeah.
when you're at the gate around the airplane, they have your destiny. So net, I called Apple HQ customer care, and I don't know who was working that day, but Dean, your name is Dean, talked to him on the phone. He told me they would cover the cost
Nice.
of the device. So it's been gone for 2 weeks because here in Minneapolis they couldn't. They replaced everything but couldn't get it to trigger. They sent it out west and came back. Hedra, it's basically a brand new machine.
Oh, wow.
So then you might ask, what did I use for 2 weeks? 2 Nexus tablets, back to back, wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, and I had to use Michael's Asus laptop as backup to do some heavy editing.
Right, right.
It was painstaking, but it actually was a good exercise in forcing me to use other devices. So you can get by with tablets. You
It's
just have to have.
hard.
It's
It's
hard,
hard, but
but
it can be done. Yeah, I hate traveling with a laptop, even if it's like a MacBook Air. It's still not as easy as like traveling with the iPad. But there was one time where I had some heavy editing to do, and it was hard to do with a wireless keyboard. Oh dear, bless you.
sorry guys.
Um,
No,
but yeah, it's hard to do, but it can be done. I think it's just like I swear by the Microsoft Word, Microsoft 360. If I didn't have that, I would just be sunk. I think that helps a lot for if you're doing like,
so what about
heavy work.
what about Google Docs? Are you a Google Docker?
I love Google Docs, but there is a point for me if I'm doing work that involves a lot of editing or formatting or all that, where I got to move it to Microsoft 360. And there was a point where I was like, I'm Google Docs all the way, and I'm not going to get 360. I don't need it. I'm fine. But then I found in going back and forth, if I'm working with a writer or if I'm doing my own writing and working with an editor, sending that file back and forth, like Google Docs just wasn't as it didn't have what I needed when it came to
Yeah.
doing like heavy editing work, and just being able to track the changes. There was just something squirrely about being able to track like multiple iterations of a document in Google Docs, where in Word you know every single time that you're going to be able to go back and look at all the different changes and comments and all that. So I would love to be able to say Google Docs is all I need, but at some point, I just had to bite the bullet and get 360. And it did make a huge difference for me in terms of feeling less stressed out. If I just have my tablet, I'm like, okay, I can at least open this Word document and know that I can look at the changes and be okay and not have to like freak
You
out
know,
that it's not
I
going
should
to translate well.
I should consider that because I was using Sheets.
Yeah,
And, like I was using the Google version of the documents, and I was able to edit, but it was a little challenging to edit. And then I was saving as Word docs, but my colleagues still couldn't open it because the way that I transcribed from docs to whatever. So, okay, I just got
yeah,
a couple pings. People had asked me to like start reviewing the phone and the device and the watch. So, do you
yeah,
want me to you want me to just start on features and then just chime in and riff if things pop
yeah,
up that
yeah,
okay.
yep,
So there's this so you can for those who've seen the commercial, there's the OK Google, OK Google, you can talk to your device. But
yeah,
I decided to use the Motorola version of OK Google to wake up my device. So I'm
yeah.
going to show you some commands that you can use with Motorola. You can put whatever catchphrase you want. And then let's see if it works. I named it Harrington, so we're going to try it. Hello, Harrington. Take a selfie. Okay, it just took a selfie. So you can make that's fast one. So you can open it up to take a selfie, take a photo.
Yeah.
I love the agenda piece. It may not work now because I have this going. So now I can ask it to tell me my schedule. Hello, Harrington. Good morning.
Good morning, Blachika. Your next appointment, titled Mask Treatment, is at 9 p.m.
Okay, it just told me that my mask treatment for my face, my facial mask is at 9 o'clock. So I actually put in my Google Calendar to put a moisturizer on my face. So you can tell it to, just like OK Google, you can tell it to search for things online. But the reason why I find it so compelling is now to break into the everyday consumer aspect. You and I are both tech heads, right? But what I found missing in all the tech reviews, not all, but the majority of them, is more of the everyday use that people that aren't in this space could use these devices, like a mom or a woman or someone washing dishes or whatever it may be. So I'm going to show you how I was actually cleaning up the dishes today from my husband's awesome barbecue and wanted to listen to some music. Okay. Hello, Harrington. Wait. Hello, Harrington. Play MC Hammer on YouTube. It's thinking. Okay.
Opening YouTube.
Opening YouTube. It said opening YouTube. And now it's finding YouTube. Can you see that?
Playing MC Hammer.
Now it says it's playing MC Hammer. And it's bringing up an MC Hammer video. It's thinking, it's thinking, it's thinking. It's thinking a long time. Wow.
It's lightning fast most of the time. That was what I
that's
loved about
it.
it.
It's wicked fast. The process is wicked
Yeah.
fast. It should bring up an MC Hammer video and just start playing it. And I had, here we go. Oh, it's showing me an ad. Those YouTube ads. Can I make the cash somehow, YouTube? Okay. Weird though, what I can't figure it out is it defaults the volume to really, really low.
Yeah.
So when I wanted the music to play, and I'm skipping ad, and I'll show you, it's going to probably bring up his, can't touch his video. It's still thinking. Here we go. Yeah. So I found this really interesting because from a hands-free perspective, if I'm running around with the kids, if I'm answering something else or checking an email on another device that's far away, I'm able to talk to it and it tells me what to do. I love that. I love it.
Said wedding that I took it to, like I really used this hard when I was testing it, and I brought it to the wedding. I was running late to get my makeup done, and so I used it. I used the voice control to call up Matt, tell them I was going to be late, send a message on Facebook to the bride that I was going to be late, call a cab, get in the cab, get directions to Matt from where I was, and then get directions from Matt to where the bride was, and all of that, like boom, 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 boom. And that's when I really fell in love with the phone, because like, you know, as much as I love the Moto G and it's not nearly as fast and it's, you know, it's not really as the hands-free part of it, the voice response part of it is just so intuitive and so smart and so connected to everything that I was just able to go, and it was just magical. That, like, it's been a long time since I've fallen in love with a phone. Like, I've been kind of okay with phones. The last phone that I really liked was probably the Galaxy S4. But yeah, I love it.
And I realized that I had the camera so you all couldn't see the actual actions. I'll show you again when talking to your phone. My bad, I forgot to switch the camera over. So let's try it again with saying hello, Harrington, which is my, take a selfie. Okay, selfie taken. So let's say you're at a party or whatever it may be, and you're actually holding a glass of wine, like what I'm drinking, and you're talking, or you want to celebrate the moment, like, oh, this is so great, let's take a selfie. You could just take it and go like this and not have to fiddle around and fiddle around. That is what I call utility. Utility. Yeah. And then when you ask for it, you could tell it to ask for, like you said, ask for directions, tell me my schedule. I love that I can say good morning. It tells me the meetings that I have for the day. I can say, the weather. Hello, Harrington. What's the weather for Minneapolis tomorrow? Let's see if that works. It's thinking.
Tomorrow's forecast for Minneapolis is 55 degrees with a chance of showers.
55 degrees and a chance of showers. So it's fast, to your point. I have stopped. I still dig the OK Google-ness of it. But I love the ability to make it my own and make it Hello Harrington. And what I really dig are the actions to know when I'm driving.
Yeah.
This sucker has what's called a gyroscope. So phones have gyroscopes. And when the phone is in motion or riding my bike even to work, it knows and it switches the phone into active mode, so I can just talk to it and give it directions of what I want. I can just talk to it. Like if Michael sends me text, it'll speak the text to me and I can speak it back. It's just, I don't know, it's just great.
Yeah.
Now, what else did you like about the phone besides how fast it was?
I love the speed. I love the voice control. I like the motion control to be able to like turn it on immediately, to put it down and it immediately turns off. Although I think you could do that before.
Yeah, I think it had similar sensors, but I think the sensors are more enhanced now with.
Yeah, and the size is ridiculous. Like, to be able to look at like videos, and I can't remember how big the screen is, but like I watch a lot of videos and YouTube on my phone, so to be able to do that and to show it to people, and the display is really gorgeous, the colors really pop. It's just a beautiful, like, the hardware is beautiful. It's a beautiful phone to look at and hold, but it's also a beautiful display. And so it's just super fast and interactive. It's like the dream phone. It's like the best Android phone I've ever seen.
Yes, hands down. I would say hands down. If you're an Android user, the Nexus 6 was just, I guess, first it was rumored and now it's possibly out. They're calling it Shamu. Motorola is making the Nexus 6 phone. I do love the Nexus devices because they're totally clean, but this is also fairly clean. There really isn't. I mean, back in the cell phone days, and you all may use the word bloatware, there really isn't any bloatware in here. The bloatware that they may have is like the Motorola Connect and the Moto voice capabilities, but it gets to know your patterns. So, for example, when I'm at home and when I sleep at night, I tell the phone to shut off and only ring when my parents call or if somebody calls 2-3 times to make sure it's an emergency. I don't know. I dig it. So Motorola, love it. I've been waiting for this sucker. I think it's gorgeous. You did a kick-ass job, and I really don't think that the common everyday person really understands what this can do. I mean, I think they
The thing is, I think this is going to be the thing, and I talked it up so much that at least 2 people, like my sister, who's a super Apple geek, is actually considering getting the Moto X, and a couple people I know who are iPhone junkies are actually considering the Moto X. So that says a lot. I think it might be the one Android phone that gets like iPhone stands to consider moving over.
Yeah, so. I should get a bra for the phone. I am one of those people. I'm a purist, which is kind of bad. Which is why I gave Motorola $85 to have insurance for this phone this time around, because the last one I smashed, and I was in between devices and had to get a Samsung burner phone, like the cheapest version of their smartphone. It had a 4G LTE connection, but oh my god, it was so slow. I thought I was going to just hit a wall. Even uploading Facebook, Twitter, so yay. Final thoughts on this sucker. I just love it. I mean, if you're an Android person, the toggling between apps is really smooth. Being able to tell it to do things and watch, I don't know, just love it.
But toggling between apps, and that's the other thing when I was telling you before, going back and forth when I was trying to get to the wedding, it was so quick to go back and forth from like casually putting something on Facebook to like going to Halo, and it was just boom, 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 like magic. I can't wait to have it in my life again.
And iPhone users, we're not dissing the iPhone. I mean, Apple's fantastic. I have a device. It's one of those things where once you switch to Android and you want a phone that's so souped up, that's the way to go. And then I guess we can go to the Moto 360. Here is the Moto 360. What? So here it is. Here it is. This is, you can't see it as well. Oh, wait, there you go. Boom. There's multiple, that's my face. I'm going to get to my camera. Wait, over here. No, but you see it. So this watch is beautiful. Now, you could see it's flush. I got the all-black one. This is a leather strap, very comfortable, made from Horween, I believe it's pronounced, a Chicago-based leather company. Tannery. Nice. That's a nice Chicago blend of this. You could change the watch faces. This is connected via Bluetooth to a phone. And the beautiful thing here, note to self, Tim Cook and Apple, you don't have to have a Motorola phone to use the watch. It's connected by Android Wear. So you don't have to have a Motorola phone. Unlike the upcoming Apple Watch, where you have to be in the ecosystem of the iPhone. Hopefully they'll change it. But again, just make it more accessible to more people, and that's why I love this. Okay, where do I start? Actually, since you reviewed it as well, why don't you start in terms of things you remember or things that you dig, and I can go into my fangirl obsession.
The thing is like, I'm not a wearables person, and so I'm still not fully convinced that a wearable is going to be in my life in the ways. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around whether this is going to be something I would actually use. That being said, I really like the Moto 360. I like the fact that it was not attached to like the latest phone. It didn't have to be a Motorola phone. If you had another type of phone and you had KitKat and you had Android Wear, you go ahead and use it. I was not crazy about the battery life. I had to charge that bad boy like the first night. The first night I had it,
every night,
I was shocked.
Put on a docking station every night. Boom.
Yeah.
It's just like a clock.
Yeah, but like all day long. Like I used it like 6 hours. Like the first day I had it, I was pretty much playing with it all day long. By the end of the day, I'm like, this bad boy is about to go down. So I had to charge it, and that's super disappointing because like that's like 8 hours.
We'll back up. How much? So let's back up though. How many were you getting? Like a ton of notifications? Were you getting like a bunch of? Is that right?
I was using it pretty hard, but I mean not necessarily. I was trying to do a close approximation of how I would use it throughout the day. So looking for taking notes on it and looking for directions and like taking it to the gym running on the treadmill and all of that stuff. So I felt like it was like the close approximation to how I would really use it on a normal day. And I still felt like it drained the battery life quite a bit. Now it could be because I had a tester version and this is like a real market version, and so there might be some changes, like an upgrade within the
they did software. Have a software. They had a software update. Well, that software update was supposed to help with disconnects because when I first got it, I think right before the software upgrade, I was getting disconnects from Bluetooth. But I went to like take us a couple steps back to explain to people about the whole wearables dealio, what that means, and how it's connected. So other smartphones exist. Watches with Android Wear. The LG's got one. This is the Motorola version, and I can check my email on the device. So when I get something from Gmail, it pings here, and I can read my email and I can reply. I can also reply to text messages. I can reply to I downloaded Facebook Messenger. I just said forget it. I have everything out there anyway. Why not? So I can respond to Facebook Messenger. But here's one dealio. I've been saying dealio today. I don't know why. I've been talking to my friend at home. So he says dealio a lot, so maybe I'm saying dealio. Love you, John. One thing about replying to text, and I can send myself a text to show you, is, hey, Michael, will you send me a text? Michael's watching football. I asked him to send me a text. It's fast. So when I reply to a text, I'm like, and I can't check it, so I don't reply via email to this unless I know the person. Like I sent a couple of girlfriends some texts, and they're like, what the what? Because it was so fast.
Right.
I talk back like, I'm sending this from my watch. But the reason why I'm so excited about this watch is the utility of not carrying my phone around the house. So Bluetooth is supposed to have 150 feet, right, between you and the device, whereby Bluetooth works. So I've been going all up in this house trying to check it out and test it. But the biggest benefit I saw in my life as of late was the park. Hanging with my kids at the park, my phone was in my bag. And look, I do it. My kids are playing. They don't need to be helicoptered all day long. I'm checking my phone, checking my email, doing some work. That's fine. But it was pretty wicked where I can play with the kids, and when I got emails, I could just go bam, 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 and look at my watch and not have to check my phone. That was awesome. So I can see if something really, if the SHIT hit the fan with work or whatever, I could see it on my phone and run over to my watch and run to my phone and check the email. And that sense of freedom of just flicking my wrist and seeing an update was so liberating compared to this at the time.
That is the best argument for wearables I have heard, period.
What? See? And I'm not a journalist, but, Leo, I love you, Leo. Oh, wait. I should get my Emmy to prove it. Hey, Michael, can you give me my Emmy?
New text from Michael Baudelier.
Oh, wait.
Hear it. Say, listen.
Michael sent me a text via my Moto device, and I don't know what it says, so I'm just going to cancel the listening to it. But let me see the guy. Oh, wait, okay, it's on my phone. So here's the message on my phone. It says text, if you can see that. It's via Hangout, right? Then I can flick to this side and reply via SMS, sending a reply. And I'm sneezing. Okay, wait, here, Leo, here's my Emmy. I do have an Emmy. Just to prove, I never thought I had to do this, but he didn't make me do it, but I'm just going to do it. I have an Emmy. And there it is. And there's my name, my maiden name. And yeah, so I do have this. It sits on my mantle. And there you go. Anyway, so yes, Kedra, that is the utility I'm talking about of being able to check things, walk around the house, and not be looking at this all the time.
Yeah. That's the most functional and relevant argument for wearables in everyday life that I've heard. Because outside of that, mostly I've heard, well, they're cool and we can. Like, to have a wearable just because you can isn't enough for me. And I think to have something that is a handier extension of a phone, something where I'm not as rude, constantly checking my phone. I can just look at my wrist and say, okay, I've got this thing coming up, or somebody's texting me. That makes way more sense than having it just to have it.
And that's kind of, and I get so jazzed because when look, we see wearables in the space, wearable technology, and it's hot to trot, whatever. But I think it takes away from that utility. Like, okay, here's an example. So I can pull things up on my watch and I can start the search query and not worry about typing, and it pops up. So here's an example. I don't know, name one of your favorite artists, musical artists right now.
Soundgarden.
Okay, I'm going to hit my watch, and OK Google will pop up. OK Google, play Soundgarden on YouTube. It's thinking. Okay, it's registering. And then it's going to ask me to open on my phone, so I can hit the button, open on my phone, bam. And now, yep, I always want it on YouTube on my phone. And now it's registering and finding Soundgarden. Hold on. See, I need to change that default volume when it pulls up, but it's looking for the video.
Soundgarden outshine for subscribers.
Nice.
So it's outshine. So the reason why that gets me jazzed. Today's Sesame Street. Chill, stop. Okay. Today's Sesame Street word of the day is jazz. Because I don't have to do this. I am a klutz. Everybody who knows me well knows I am a klutzy gal. I just am, and it's gotten worse with kids. I love my kids, but the less I can do this and just talk like Inspector Gadget or Penny, the better. And this is why I wanted to, that after this is over and we edit it and I put it up, I've been making little vignettes about how I use my devices.
Yep.
You mentioned the heart rate and whatnot. I did have a Fitbit. I have a Fitbit. And I thought, well, should I still use it? But this thing I can say, okay, Google, show me my steps. And it's going to show me how many steps I took today. We stayed in the house today because it was rainy and crappy, so we just stayed in. And you can see it shows 5,000 over 5. I mean, I didn't walk a lot today. So those little things, just talking to yourself, or you mentioned the note feature. I'm at the grocery store, whatever,
Right.
Now, how did you use notes? Because I don't use notes a lot on this thing.
I always need to remind myself of meetings that are coming up, or song lyrics, or
Kedra? Did I just lose Miss Kedra? I don't know. She was there, and now she's not there. Can we get her back? Kedra, I'm going to invite you again. Let's invite you again. And while Kedra's coming to join us again, I can't describe how great it is to be able to look at your wrist as you do checking the time to see if you had an email or a Facebook message or even a response from like a Trulia. So obviously I mentioned before we're probably going to move back to Chicagoland next year. And I set this up so there's certain searches and triggers for different homes within the Chicagoland area I want to look at, and so it'll pop up at the trigger. We are big Airbnb fans, and so when I'm looking at places to stay or rent or what have you, I get a trigger on my device that the Airbnb person has responded to me. It's great. What's also awesome is an app for Android wearables. It's a cooking app, the Big Baker. So it's called All the Cooks. It's a specific app for Android wearables, and I can find recipes. So I'm looking at crock-pot sloppy joes. I mean, who doesn't love sloppy joes? And I can say, open on my watch. It sent the recipe to my watch, and there it is. Wait, where is it? No. Wait. Can you see it? You can't see it. Let's do this. Come on. Okay, see that? This is the recipe for crock-pot sloppy joes. So when I'm cooking, and I'm in the kitchen, the kids are running around, I'm dancing to music, I could just look at what recipes I need in totality. I can scroll through, and then I could flick it from one side to the other, and it tells me the steps that I have to do while I'm cooking. I don't need to have an iPad or have something around that might get splashable. Let me try inviting Kedra again. Kedra, I just called to say I love you. See if she gets back. I'm going to text her as well. I love tech problems. Not really tech problems, challenges, fun times. What else can I talk to you about the device itself? It's flush. It really doesn't stick out that much. But in all honesty, aside from the amazing features I mentioned and the utility, I should get some scratch resistant stuff for those things. I think, can I scratch it or is that food? We had ribs tonight, so I got some stuff on it. It's just a beautiful watch. It's gorgeous. And I know the head of Motorola Design from back in the day, and Jim, I mean, it's beautiful. This is the kind of watch you want to buy and that you want to have on your wrist. I bought this watch because I needed an everyday kind of watch. On top of that, the wearables feature I loved, and that's why I bought it. And it's beautiful. It ain't cheap. It's $250. As I told my husband, some women buy shoes and bags and tons of things. I invest most of my cash in tech because that's who I am. So we lost Kedra. I don't know where she went. And we'll give it a couple more minutes to see if she joins us again. But what else can I tell you about these devices? Other apps that I love. We need more of them, actually. So if you're an Android developer, highly recommend making more apps for the wearable market. Twitter, there has to be a third-party app to tweet from. It doesn't exist right now, and I think we could use it. It would be lovely to take pictures with my watch somehow, or do some type of Instagramming or some type of online activity with it. And Kedra's coming back. I see her. And she's back.
I'm back.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. It's another Murphy's Law week for me. As if everything can go wrong at all.
I was talking about, while you were gone, I was talking about the recipe feature. So, do you know, so there's an app called All the Cooks. I can bring up a recipe on this, and then I bring it here, and as I'm cooking, I'm just like, step 1, step 2, step 3. Again, utility. I'm all about loving the tech gadgetry and hardware of something, but from an everyday standpoint, to cook and to rest, it's great.
I didn't get a chance to try All the Cooks, but I saw a demo of it and it looks really great. And since I do cook now, that's something that I would definitely use it for, and I think would be pretty useful.
I'm trying to think of any.
But the problem is that there's not a whole lot in Android Wear right now. And I think that's one of my big issues is that there's not enough apps available right now to really kind of show all that it can do. I feel like All the Cooks is like I would love for there to be like when the time comes, something like a Lyft or a Halo type app so that you can like call a cab, because that's where I could see myself using it a lot. Is I'm out and about. I don't want to dig for my phone. I just want to call a taxi. and I don't have to like dig in my phone to get it. So I think that once there are more apps available for it, then I can really start to see, to push the boundaries of what it can do as an extension of your phone. So
I agree, and that's what right when you were getting back online, I was talking about we need, if you're an Android developer, more apps.
yeah,
Let's see what happens if I bring up Uber on this thing. Do I have Uber downloaded? No. I didn't download Uber on this one yet because I'm still downloading all my old apps.
yeah,
I'm wondering, let me just download, well, I have to log in too, but I wonder if I could say, like, open Uber, if it'll open up the app on my device. Or let me at least try to say open Twitter and see if it opens up Twitter. Hold on. Let's try it. Open Twitter app. Let's see if it works. La la. It is needs to change the watch faces though. I love changing the watch faces. Open Twitter app. Okay, what it does do is it gives you the Google search result for Twitter, and it says you want to open on device or go to Google Play. It just opened up Twitter on the Play Store, but I already have Twitter, so maybe recommend the action of open. All in all, though, for me, I needed to watch. I love it. I love the connection. This is now my new tech guru-ness.
Does the non fully roundness of it bug you? The little bar at the bottom, that it's not 100% circular. Does that bug you visually?
Great point to call out. So there isn't a full 360 design to this because they could, I believe, the bottom blocked out for memory, was it? For some type of storage feature?
Yeah.
So if you look at the device at the bottom, there's a little, it's like a flat tire. You know what? It doesn't bother me. It doesn't. In the tech reviews, I mentioned that too, like, oh, it's, why is that flat tire showing up? Meh.
Right.
It just doesn't, I don't know, for me, it didn't matter. And maybe because I was pre-qualifying myself before I bought it and I knew that existed.
Right.
And I haven't, because I was at home this week because of my laptop issue, I haven't cycled to work, so I'm curious to see with Google Maps, the navigation with me biking to work and what that's like. Google Cards does work. So what's really neat about the Google Now feature is it ties into Google Now, so I can see what I search for and it pops up different aspects. So
that's cool.
So if that's, if there's nothing else, Motorola in this, I just want to quickly recap. Are there any tech pieces of info or news or things that have either gotten your goat this week or just trends or memes that you're like, enough, or wanting to see more of that you think the last few weeks we've kind of been missing?
For me, it just goes back to the whole music thing. I think what's going on with Apple and Beats Music is really intriguing me. Because they bought Beats earlier this year. The rumor was at the end of last month that they were going to discontinue the Beats streaming service. Now, this past week, there's rumblings about they're not planning on eliminating Beats or shutting it down or having it go dark, but they're trying to revamp it to become a better competitor to Spotify. And the rumor is by lowering the monthly subscription fee. So right now it's $10, and I think they're going to go even cheaper. Which
I have never used Beats.
I am a big streaming music fan, and so I go back and forth between RDO, Spotify, and now Beats. And Beats is interesting because I think it has a lot of potential just because it was, created by folks in the industry. And so it was kind of an attempt to be a middleman between the music industry and the tech industry and not be in like Spotify, which the music industry tends to not really like very much because they're not getting the kind of royalties. Artists don't get the kind of royalties that they would get from streaming, and so Beats was a way of working directly with the labels in order to get the music on, as opposed to just taking, files and putting them up there. It was buggy at first and not necessarily the best variety, but what they had in its favor was this curation process. So they had a lot of like music journalists and label people and all that curate different like types of playlists so that you could really, honest to God, have some music discovery. So it wasn't just like with Spotify, where at least for me, like Spotify, Pandora, and all that, I didn't discover a thing. I just listened to the same stuff I listened to anyway. I never discovered any new music. Beats was really about trying to curate, to have experts come in and create an experience where if you really like something, you might like this and this and this artist. And so that's what makes Beats intriguing for me. And my big fear when Apple bought Beats was that they were just going to make it a goofy extension of iTunes and not necessarily retain what it made it different and interesting. Now, I still don't know what they're trying to do. To me, it seems like they still don't know what they bought. They just kind of wanted it, and they're like, oh yeah, we have a streaming service. Now what? Whether they want to make it something that it enhances iTunes, or whether they want to kind of grow it on its own and have it be affiliated with Apple but not necessarily like part of the Apple brand. I'm just curious to see what they plan to do with this service and whether they can beat Spotify. Spotify has its like zealots, people who love it and don't plan to leave, even though Beats is technically a better service and I think has a pretty impressive discography, and I think has more of a pedigree behind it in terms of with the industry. So I'm just very curious to see, so many different, wildly different rumors have come out in the past like 90 days. I would like to see what the truth is going to be and what we'll see from Beats streaming in late 2014, 2015. So that's been on my mind.
You've convinced me to use Beats.
Awesome.
I've never tried Beats. I use Pandora and Spotify, but I've never. And it's a little bit of Google Music, but I don't know. The user interface of Google Music, I just wasn't too thrilled with. But I am curious to use Beats now. I knew that it was like a curated type of experience with people behind it, but the way you described it makes me want to try it. But it's funny when you mentioned that it made me triggered to something that came out today, where supposedly, in different news reports, the NFL is banning their players from using Beats headphones.
Right, I heard about that.
The deal with those. Come on. Seriously, like Roger Goodell, first of all, the whole thing with not seeing the tape, and we know you saw the tape, or someone saw the tape, just might, I don't know. Separate topic. My husband's watching the NFL tonight, love the NFL, they're fantastic, but but banning the players, it's just, I understand both sides of the fence from a business perspective and what have you, but someone's personal music choice and experience to get jazzed up for a game and get pumped up, I don't know. I wasn't a big major athlete, but I ran track in high school, and I remember what that was like, adrenaline pumping before a meet, and I had certain things that really got me going, and to have that taken away, I see both sides, but it's just
what I'm confused about
right now.
I'm confused about, is it just the Beats headphones specifically, or any headphones on, like, what's the reasoning behind the ban?
Because the exclusive. They have an exclusive. I'm reading this right now. I believe they have an exclusive deal with Bose.
Oh, yeah. That's goofy.
It's a new deal with Bose. It's a new deal with Bose. Okay. So I get it. But then, it's like with Bose headphones and Beats headphones, and then can they not use the Beats service? I don't know. But you mentioned Beats, and that made me think about that piece. So anyway, each his own. NFL, do what you got to do. I hear ya. You're trying to clean things out. And kudos to Chicago. They're getting the NFL draft next year. That'll be interesting. Yeah. So that's fun news for the city. I'm sure you're loving that, Ram.
What's your thoughts on Elo? Just out of curiosity.
Elo. I'm going to try and talk in a British accent. Elo. I received an Elo invite from a great coworker of mine, Izzy. Hi, Iz. What's up if you're watching? I used it. I set up a name. I had to clinch. Come on. I had to clinch my first name with as many social platforms as possible because, there's actually, when I go back to Macedonia next month, I'll probably see a lot of blogitas. Or blogitas, as you all know me. I want to try it and give it a chance because I get the whole clean platform piece. And I've said this before. I would pay Zuckerberg and Dick Costello $5 $5 a month maybe, I would have no problem paying money to use social platforms. Similar to you saying how you pay money to use Beats.
Right.
I want to give it a try. I just don't know if I have it in me. I know that deep down I want to connect better and deeply to people. And Scoble loves Scoble and his love of Facebook. And Scoble has used Facebook lists like nobody's business. So I'm trying to Scobleize my Facebook.
Right.
But I mean, I do have my list set up. But I'm trying to take it to a step further. And I'm trying to think of how much time do I have to really maximize my Facebook experience and maximize my Elo experience.
Right.
As a practitioner, I know that I have to because I need to understand how things work, but it's just a lot of time. So I'm on the fence. I haven't used it extensively. Have you? Have you used it extensively?
I ducked my head in, and I have not had the time yet to really start to connect and build my profile and start to connect with people, and that was like my job, my goal for this next week or so is to actually use it and poke my way around it and see how I feel about it. I kind of don't, as much as I complain about the interface for Facebook, I don't, like, Elo is not intuitive for me. It took a while for me to figure out how to find people and connect with them, and so that's why I want to just take the time to do it and see how I feel about the look and feel of it. Because I know for me, like I'm off Twitter all the time, and part of the reason I love Twitter is just because it's so easy. At least for me, it's so streamlined and easy to just connect with people, and it doesn't disrupt my day in a weird way. I feel like Facebook takes a little bit more of my mental energy, and so it disrupts my day in a little bit more, while Twitter I can kind of dip in and out and not necessarily feel like I have to stop my day to do what I'm doing on Twitter. And if Elo is going to be more of a Facebook experience where I feel like I have to like go in and kind of invest my mental energy, I don't think I'm going to like it as much as, say, a Twitter or an Instagram, where I feel like those are less mentally taxing for me and I can enjoy them without having to, like, you know, shift my thinking in order to be there. Which I know is maybe a weird way of thinking about social networks, but like,
you know, it's compartmentalizing your time. I mean, I always say to friends and family that how do I say this? Sometimes there's priority given in the marketplace for people who have kids. I think that's incorrect and false. Stay with me here. Stay with me. Don't send me hate mail. Don't send me hate mail. You can be a busy person and a lot going on, and just because you're a parent and have children doesn't mean that the marketplace and or advertising brands have to speak to you more or get to know you more or respect your time more. Because if you don't have kids, you still have a life. You still have time that has to be compartmentalized. Thus, I think that people in general are doing what you just said, like trying to figure out, do I have the time to do X or do Y, or which one do I want to connect with more? Which brings me to kind of like a funny haha moment tech-wise I think you crack up with. I guess it goes into my tech discovery or surprise of the week. The other night, I was watching Shark Tank, one of my favorite things to do on Fridays, and
yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah, I used to watch 2020 with my dad when it was Hugh Downs and Barbara What? No, I'm Barbara Waters, and this is 2020. I tried, and then John Stossel was on, and I used to like Stossel, and then Stossel got freaky on me. Not on me. He went kind of.
I knew what you meant.
John Stossel. I was watching Shark Tank, and Lori was tweeting. I love Lori, also from Chicago. What's up? She was tweeting, tune into QVC after Shark Tank to watch my stuff. I said, you know what? I'm going to watch QVC. I ended up buying 3 things when she was on QVC. And this woman has 100 patents below her, girl. 100 patents.
Wow.
And the first thing she had on was this thing called the Scrub Daddy. It is this amazing, wicked, insane sponge that doesn't scratch, takes up everything. I bought that, and then I bought the this purse insert to organize your bags. Like you put it in, and you just take it out from bag to bag.
Right. I have one of those. They're amazing. Hello.
And then I bought this wicked, great. I can't say in case my mom and my sister see. I bought them some holiday presents. That's all I'm going to say. The reason why I bring up QVC is because I was watching it live, and they were tracking down, oh, we have 1,000 left. Oh, the red's gone. Oh, the blush
Right.
is gone. And I'm thinking, I just put that in my cart. So I was online shopping while I was watching QVC. And they were saying that, oh, we're losing, we've got 10,000 of these, 8,000 of these, and they're going away. But I just came back to my fuzzy slippers with a glass of vino, like, bought. And I bring QVC up because I would love to know demographically how many people we know in this, whatever, Gen X techie demographic shop at QVC but don't say it. I bet there's more.
Yeah.
More.
Totally. Like, I don't have cable, but when I am around cable, I'll look at QVC. I think wasn't Mariah Carey on QVC that one time? I think that's what I was watching.
And there's also HSN. Like,
okay.
There's HSN and QVC. It's like, and I talked to some friends that are big online home shoppers, and they're like, oh no, you're either an HSN girl or a QVC girl. I said to myself, I'll just have two of the websites. And I'm thinking, okay, logically, I'll just have both websites on different tabs in my browser and just click between one and shop. So anyway, that's my little like tech what if for the week, where I was watching this thing live and bought things that were straight up utility. I need a purse organizer. The holiday gifts were great. And I got like 8 of those Scrub Daddy kitchen sponges for whatever, $23, $24. I'm like, done. Kudos, man. Yeah. So I guess we can sum up this week's episode with, I guess, ending comment for me. This is not cheap. It's $250. I needed a watch. I love Motorola products, so I bought it. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to. This, in case people wonder, I bought the unlocked version. I love T-Mobile, and shout out to John Legere, the CEO of T-Mobile. Kedra, follow him on Twitter. He is hilarious. He is one of the most authentic CEOs who tweet. This I bought straight up, unlocked, couple $100, close to like what I think it was $400 or $500.
Yeah.
I buy my phones. Yeah, I buy my phones. I don't do even though T-Mobile has the lease plan, I like to buy my devices.
Oh,
so but that was pretty much my funny money budget, for the next while.
Is it
done? So yeah, you don't have to buy this. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to, but you can still go contract with your carrier. It's worth it. Anyway, awesome.
I totally think the Moto X is worth the money. Like, when I had it, I was just running around. You could ask my friends. I was talking about if I could marry a phone, it would be the Moto X. Like, I was starting to call it my boyfriend. Like, love it. And like, I really do think it's going to be the thing that brings some iPhone people over. It's that good. Like, the fact that I actually got my iPhone stan sister to consider getting it means a lot, because she was married to the iPhone, but I think that she might actually come over to the Android side. And I'm not anti-iPhone, but I am like an Android cheerleader, so I do like I do like to bring people over.
I do have one design aspect, Jim, if you ever watch this, or Dawn, if you send this to Jim. Design-wise, the phone is gorgeous, but what would be really nice, I know that there's stands I can buy. It would be lovely to stand the sucker up like this, so it's level. Like, my husband can watch videos with the kids with his iPhone and stick it up and it's flush just like that, right?
Yeah.
I can't with this. So it would have been nice, it's a nice curve to the device, but it'd be nice if it was flat and flush so I can just, bam, stick it like this and not have to buy another accessory. Just my 2 cents. And with that, I'm going to end this episode with a selfie with me and Kedra. So I'm going to turn my laptop around.
Hope this works.
I have to be very gentle so I don't break it again. Guys, but this is fun, so why not do it? That's what we do. Okay. Hello, Harrington. Take a selfie.
Does it work?
It's coming. It worked. Oh my god. I love Motorola. That was awesome.
Did it work?
It worked. Wait, hold on. Dude.
Yay, awesome. Yay.
Okay, so with that, if you are watching LTT right now, thanks for watching. If not, I'm going to edit this and post
Thank
it. You
you.
can watch it at work. Kedra, thank you.
Thank
have
you.
you have an open invite to come here anytime and
I would
party
love
on.
to.
And I'll add some more artwork behind me. Maybe, you know, some something from
Yeah, I
France.
actually have to get some artwork behind here too. It looks so like dead. You can barely see. You can see my guitar, and that's pretty much it.
You should get a green. You know, we should both. I want to buy a green screen and green screen the heck out of my place. Put a green screen. We can
Awesome.
like float and we can put people in.
With the beach, and yeah.
No, Leo, you might have that $1 million studio in Petaluma, which I'm very jealous of. And one day I hope to visit it because I did watch Twit the other day, and you do have people on your show that are that are guests that aren't journalists. So just saying, you know, yeah, I'm just gonna keep beating the horn to be on your show because I love your show and I think it's great, and other people like me and Kedra watch shows like that. So, okay, LTT, we're out Sunday night.
Hey, welcome back, LTT.
Welcome back, LTT. You know what? Yes, and thanks, Kedra, for coming back to the Welcome Back show.
Thank you. Have a great
Bye.
one.
See you.